Hey, everybody! Merry Christmas. Let me find my buttons here. Jason Voorhees. Salam alaikum. Teresa. Scott. Hope everybody's having a good Christmas. We got a special guest today. Aunt Peggy's come to talk to us about Damien Echols. Say hi, Aunt Peggy.
Hi, Aunt Peggy.
Can everyone hear us okay? Let's see here. All's well, I think. Actually, since nobody's going to tell me because they never do.
Well, I can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me. Press 1 if y'all can hear me because I want to make sure y'all hear this. We got a little Christmas poem we got to go over, and then we're going to get into the slides. All
Teresa
right.
says
Cool. Thank you, Teresa. So, let me get one more hit of
Scott
this week.
says yes.
Cool. 1 second. All right. 'Twas the night of old Beltane, and all through the trailer park, not a tweaker was tweaking in West Memphis Ark. While out on the hill of Robin Hood fame stood Damien Echols and his fuck-around gang. The greasy Thelemite stood, all drunk and high. He loved huffing glue and gouging out eyes. Michael Wayne Hutchison, that was his name. He liked to suck scabs and kill Great Danes. But on this magic night, dressed to the hilt, the edgy little teen, 3 boys he did kill. Their hands and feet with shoelaces girdled, he cut off one's penis and blamed it on a turtle. Johnny Depp loves him. They share a tattoo. Sounds gay to me, but I don't huff glue. Damien's a murderer, a child killer and freak. He likes bondage enemas and hermetic Reiki. He's a trailer park wizard and a ninja too. Now here's 50 interesting facts for us to go through. I hope y'all appreciated that. I wrote that in like 5 minutes, so I really stopped. Okay.
Most excellent. And we're here today to talk about 50 interesting facts about Damien Echols, convicted child murderer, magician, and bondage enema enthusiast.
I can never say that part without giggling. Damien fantasizes about tying people up and administering enemas. And if y'all notice on the screen next to the jiggling enemas, there's a little letter Mr. Damien wrote in prison talking about tying up his adoring slave and giving them an enema.
I don't want a mustache ride from him.
Yeah, he's so fucking dirty Sanchez there, man. Like, there seems to be a pattern here of poop and SRA, wouldn't you say, Peggy?
I would say that seems to be the case.
Like
and now we're moving on to Damien views penises as symbols of power.
Well, wait, I had a question first.
Okay.
Have you ever in your dating life ever just had somebody say, hey, I want to tie you up and give you an enema?
I can't say that I have.
Nor
I don't think I'd want that either. You?
No, I didn't want one when I got one as a kid. I didn't know what happened, and I was not pleased. But you know.
Excellent. Now should we talk about penises of power?
Yeah, penises as symbols of power. And you know, that might maybe be one of the most correct esoteric things he said, but it's not because he said it. Japan has that big penis festival where they make all them big wooden dicks and penis foods and stuff.
I bet you. They could have the women that wear the vagina hats show up, and they could have a really good time.
I don't think they'd like that. I think that would actually be offensive to them. But, again, I don't puff glue, so I don't understand some of this.
And what, like is that like a herpes penis? What the hell's with that?
No, that is a symbolic device of power. Ribbed for her enema comfort, I guess. We're so gonna get flagged.
Now, I believe it's your turn.
Okay. The Nervous Hospital people recommended treatment for his acne, and his external rectal exam was unremarkable, which was one of the most surprising things I found in his entire medical file.
He must have been using the treatment for his acne on his anus.
Maybe it was that magic wand they were doing some of that light treatment stuff.
Well,
I don't know. I've never, to my knowledge, had a rectal exam that was ever remarkable or unremarkable.
But thank goodness, because then Spanky from Little Rascals would have to show up, and he'd have to go, remarkable.
Well, like somebody with such a narcissistic view of themselves, I would think would be offended that something on paper said anything about them was unremarkable. I'm very surprised he didn't argue with them about it. Next slide.
Pardon me, doctor. I've given myself an external rectal exam. It was remarkable. I have a remarkable anus.
We're fired. We're canceled.
How long will we last on this wonderful live stream? Shall we continue on,
Yeah.
Dr. Corbeaux? Okay, well, Damien Echols is a self-professed sociopath. And I describe any changes in these things since your condition began. And he writes, I am a sociopath. Must go for his magic, too, because he says he's a magician. So he's a self-proclaimed magician, too.
You know what I just realized?
Oh, no. What?
And this means we're going to have to get those slides together and do this show. Look at those numbers below I am a sociopath.
Okay.
You remember all the 111s?
Yes.
I just noticed that on here. So now we're going to end up having to do the Kabbalah of Damien Echols.
Well, if we don't get canceled our first time out, I'm sure that we could do it.
Well, that one has a lot less butthole jokes, I think. So we should be okay.
Well, then I'm just not coming without, less butthole jokes. What am I here for?
Well, I don't know. But for those of you out here that don't necessarily know what a sociopath is, some characteristics are ignoring right and wrong, telling lies to take advantage of others, not being sensitive to or respectful of others, using charm or wit to manipulate others for personal gain or pleasure.
I don't think he has that one.
Well, not the charm. Well, that's why he used young girls in trailer parks of questionable age.
Okay.
Having a sense of superiority and being extremely opinionated. Bullshit. Water's wet, ain't it? Having problems with the law, including criminal behavior.
Well, I have a question. Isn't anything that has problems with the law, is there uncriminal behavior that can be associated with problems with the law?
You're going to have to ask somebody that's got an unremarkable rectal exam, because I'm not qualified to answer that question. Being hostile, aggressive, violent, or threatening to others. That counts. Smashing dogs to death and gouging out eyes and stuff.
Well,
Feeling no guilt about harming others. Woo! Hey, let the church say amen.
Amen.
And being irresponsible and failing to fulfill work or financial responsibilities. I think he still draws welfare. Disability, don't he?
Did he ever have a job before he got incarcerated?
Not to my knowledge. I didn't see anything about that. There was that mention of sacrificing his firstborn, but then thinking, wait, my disability check will be a little higher, and I'll get some more food stamps if I keep it. So I'm going to say probably not.
And if he's on death row, he couldn't have a jail job, right?
No, he talked to some people from Japan to coming over and shaving his head. That way he could pretend to be an anime cartoon monk.
Oh. Well, that's special.
I guess, man. It obviously did not help.
Well, no.
Next slide.
Okay, you go on.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Damien claims to be, at times, possessed by evil spirits, which is kind of telling for someone accused of, killing 3 boys and cutting one's pee-pee off, blaming it on a turtle.
Well, biting faces too. Wasn't there like facial biting going on too?
Dude, is scab sucking? Who the hell sucks scabs?
I don't know, but oh god,
that scab sucking degenerate. And see, they can't sue me for it because it's true.
It's true. It says right there on that there paper.
That dude sucks scabs.
Scabs. I can't even say it.
I know, but it's a little difficult.
Go on to the next slide, please. Because Damien calls his followers goat suckers.
Speaking of sucking on nasty things, goats are some smelly creatures. I think they're cute, and I got a couple, but I don't know, man. Sucking on a goat.
Yeah, goat sucking.
Okay, goat sucking. So, like, what could that mean? Are you calling them little vampires? Are you calling them an army of parasites?
Or is that how you get, I don't even want to say this out loud, the milk out of them?
Well, a chupacabra, a goat sucker, they like sucking blood out of chickens and goats and farm animals. Maybe he's telling everybody to go suck on farm animals, which technically is an SEX crime in the state of Arkansas, which will get you put on a registry.
Wow. What about the sheep then?
Sheep, dogs, chickens, armadillos, llamas.
No llamas, keep the llamas out of it. Back away from the llamas.
Hey, it ain't me, man.
I know.
Speaking of sucking things.
Oh, God, here we go again. Yay, Damien sucks.
Yeah, he likes to suck people's blood in order to join gangs.
What kind of gangs?
Well,
blood-sucking gangs? Goat-sucking gangs?
Well, it says Damien was placed in the detention center. While at the detention center, he reportedly grabbed a pier and began sucking blood from Pier's neck. And they said his rectal exam was unremarkable. According to Damien, he relates that the peer was aware that he was going to do this. Staff reports that Damien was not remorseful for his behavior. Damien indicated that he sucked blood in order to get into a gang. He denies that it was any type of ritual. What kind of gang says, I want you to go over there and suck blood out that homeboy's neck?
And, since Damien said it, we probably should believe it, right? Because he tells the truth.
He like joining that P Diddy gang, huh? That one TD Jakes got tied into recently. Canceled.
Been nice.
I had to throw him in. And don't forget, man, that's Oprah's friend, and John of God and all that good stuff. Just throwing that out there for y'all.
Well, moving on, because he's so fascinating, Damien reportedly threatened to kill his father and eat him.
And it's really sad I can't include him in a list of Ozark cannibals because he's technically in the Delta.
Well, do you think he would, though? Because he said, he was just saying that as a teenager. He really didn't mean it.
Well, either way, I mean, just geographically, he can't be an Ozark cannibal. He's got to be like a Mississippi Delta cannibal. And apparently they're some of the nastiest ones.
They like to suck things.
Yeah, man, let's see here. Damien reportedly threatened to kill his father while in Oregon. Oh, man, that makes him like a West Coast cannibal.
Oh.
And also threatened to eat him. Who the hell wants to eat their daddy? Ain't that some Epidus Freud shit or whatever?
But, at least it wasn't his mama, because that could have all sorts of connotations I don't even want to visit.
Well, I wonder if he wanted to eat his mama, if he wouldn't have killed 3 little boys, he'd have done, just ate some women or something.
I don't know.
But look at that damn haircut. What is that, some kind of reverse thelemic mullet? What's going on there?
I can't really say, but I'm sure that he pays lots of hard-earned donor money to get such a great haircut.
How many times you think he took that picture trigger?
Well,
do it again. It's not perfect. It's got to be just like in the Lieber whatever.
2000.
What a douche.
Douchebaggery.
Damien, knowing his sister was being SA'd, hated her and intentionally scared her with his witchcraft practices. So yeah, he was just a sensitive goth kid. He didn't have any history of ritualistically terrifying children that may have been SA'd. Hell, man, give him a job reading books to children, just like all them people dressed like devils and stuff.
He has an unremarkable butthole.
He gonna be in that after-school Satan club or something before it's over.
You mean Lucian Greaves of the Satanic Temple's after-school program?
Probably. They can go, suck each other's neck and join gangs.
Ooh.
Speaking of activities of a satanic nature. Excellent.
Damien once enjoyed inhalants such as spray paint and glue. Well, it didn't glue his mouth shut, huh?
Well, I guess that's how he kept from having a remarkable rectal exam. You huff glue, you want to eat your dad, you sucking scabs and sucking on dudes' necks, and you just picked on, misunderstood. I mean, now I can understand. I'm from Arkansas. I was a teenager that got kind of eyeballed out because of old scab sucker here, which made my school life a little more difficult because everyone was, still reeling about this guy. So they just assumed we was going to go off in the woods and blame shit on turtles. But I think huffing glue, man, and reading occult books and shit probably ain't the best way to enlighten them.
Justice for the turtles.
Yeah, I ain't gonna blame some poor turtles. They're such noble creatures.
And they don't get welfare checks or disability because they live in their own house.
Well, I mean, I'd be all right. I've seen some disabled turtles. They got this one group of turtle rehab people. They use those little bra clips to help make their shells stay when they like get hit by cars so they'll grow back together, right? It's really beautiful.
Did they paint them?
No, that's actually like poisonous to the turtles.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, fun fact, since somebody here just trying to trash all turtle kind.
Turtle
Turtles, don't
power.
paint your turtle shells, man, as long as there's still a resident in there.
Makes me want pizza.
Well, a few more slides, I don't think you'll be able to eat if the poop
Nah.
mustache didn't already turn your stomach. Because, Damien says he is Satan's artillery captain. But no, he wasn't. He wasn't a devil worshiper out there killing kids or nothing. He was just Satan's artillery captain. That's his little quote too. You can find that shit on WestMemphis3facts.com.
I think he meant to say artery captain because all the blood sucking he was doing.
Maybe, man.
Hey, Scott, you got a turtle I can paint? Wink, wink.
He said, and I quote, "I see a perfect explosion, God's ammunition dump, going up in the flames of righteousness. Satan storming heaven, his artillery captain, a fiercely grinning fool." Hey, remember that fool in that 111? With red flayed cheeks, Damien by name, never to be Michael Hutchison again. What is this fucking trailer park Highlander? The end is near. Kiss your ass goodbye, people. It's time to pay up. Now is the judgment. I am the judge.
Oh,
man, that boy, if he gets any more edgy, he's gonna cut himself.
Woo.
Woo.
My turn now?
Yeah.
Oh boy, Damien has been subject to hypnotic trance while receiving psychiatric attention.
I really wonder, if there was any experiments of a alphabet agency nature at that Oregon hospital. I've wondered a lot. Or even in Little Rock, for that matter.
They probed him good because they didn't leave any evidence.
Well, I just thought maybe they hypnotized him into liking enemas or something. Because, that just seems to be all these satanic crimes involve poop and stuff. If I was Satan and all my homies were sitting there rubbing dookie on each other, hell, I'd give up and be like, God, can I, be the choir's water boy? I'm so sorry. You were right. All my followers are poop-loving, scab-sucking degenerates.
I want the cheesecake. I mean, if you're rubbing cheesecake all over everybody, I'd be in that cult. Poop,
I would. Because it'd be like some kind of thalamic poop cake cheesecake.
Oh, no.
Gonorrhea cheesecake.
Yeah, be looking like they're flying.
From moon to cheesecake. Oh, shit. Damien compared himself to Charles Manson and Ted Bundy. He said, "I know I'm going to influence the world. People will remember me." Man, everybody forgot about you. You always got to keep saying, "Oh, test the evidence. Arkansas is out to get me." Well, that's bullshit. Okay, let's say you wanted to be some influential figure. What made you want to be compared to Charles Manson or, Ted Bundy, who has got some really murderous kinks of his own?
Yeah, he liked socks. He had 80 pairs of socks that he bought on stolen credit cards.
Well, and he put lipsticks on corpses and stuff.
And
I don't know if he ever sucked anybody's neck to join a gang, but I guess we'll never know.
Well,
Hey, man.
Okay, well, Damien quotes cult leaders who ask children to suck their tongues. Damien Echols, silence is sometimes the best answer. The Dalai Lama.
Yep. And unless we forget, speaking of sick, degenerate murderers.
Okay.
You know, the Nazi expedition to Tibet went over really well. Maybe there is some kind of satanic Nazi pedophilia out there.
But see, Joe Biden couldn't go there because he'd want to sniff the head of the Dalai Lama, and the dude ain't got no hair.
It probably smell like that butter tea and little boys.
Tongues.
Whose turn is it? I forgot.
I did the tongue sucking of the Dalai Lama.
So, he embraced Amanda Knox, another individual implicated in a ritual crime. And everyone forgets about that. You know, there was that whole, like, cult angle to that whole crime. That kind of faded away. And, you know, they say she kind of probably has this odor from lack of hygiene. And he's hugging on to her like an enema bottle. Look at him.
But you know what? He probably smells worse, so he can't smell her.
He probably collects doo-doo speckles in that little soul patch thing he's got there to comfort him in times of stress.
Also, too, if you go up and you look at his part, it's almost like he's wearing a wig cap, and he got himself a bad wig to appear there.
Maybe he did. You know what? Maybe every time he's really doing that sign of silence, he's just sniffing his finger.
Oh?
I never thought of that till now.
You know, okay. Moving on to Damien thinks fighting with cockroaches over cornflakes isn't funny. Well, fucking where.
It's no funny looking on the screen to me.
It's no laughing matter when you have to fight with cockroaches to see who gets the cornflakes.
He lied out his ass. No, they wasn't buying name brand Kellogg's living in that trailer park.
And you know what? If they like the cornflakes, then buy some Apple Jacks, idiot.
I mean, shit, you don't know how to get rid of bugs, but ain't nobody in Arkansas living in the trailer park buying name brand Kellogg's, y'all. Hell, people living in houses in Arkansas are too cheap to buy name brand Kellogg's.
Well,
you know, them cornflakes was supposed to, like, keep dudes from touching themselves, and apparently Damien liked them enough to fight cockroaches over them, and it made him like enemas. So I'm not saying there's a correlation, but I know I'm never eating a cornflake again, at least not a Kellogg's version, because I never did. I was eating off-brand.
Snap, crackle, pop, you know.
Look at that cockroach. Y'all can't tell me that Damien fighting with a cockroach over cornflakes on your screen isn't funny. It is definitely a laughing matter. Look at that.
And sadly enough, 9 out of 10 times the cockroach won.
Well, I mean, he is only a green belt. I should have used the white belt picture.
I thought that was like pickle.
No, man, that's he's playing ninja now. You know, he's playing ninja. He went to that ninja convention, whatever, in Spring, Texas, where that Luciferian church was and those satanic murders. Yeah, coincidentally. Yeah, just coincidentally.
You know, okay.
All right. Damien Echols' brother, Johnny Depp, is also connected to some suspicious murders, and they share ritual tattoos, little occulty things, when Damien was giving unlicensed tattoos against his parole.
Can I ask a serious question here? I mean, totally serious.
You can try.
Okay, so Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were getting that divorce. How come Johnny Depp's good friend Damien Echols didn't testify on his behalf?
Because he was the one that gave Amber the enema that made her poop the bed.
You know?
I never thought about that till now, but that might have been the secret evidence. Like, where is the enema?
And, you know, bad enough, you know, she was, you know, hanging out with Elon Musk, too. So, you know, maybe it was him.
I don't trust dudes named after smells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gross. Yeah, y'all should check that out. There's not a lot on it, but, yeah, Johnny Depp was connected to some suspicious shit, too. Not even just drug addicts writing stories about adrenochrome in Las Vegas. Oh, got another flag. You
Oh,
know,
but hey,
I think like, huh?
let's go back there. And Johnny Depp hung out with Hunter S. Thompson too.
Yeah, but if I say it, since I got this hillbilly accent, I don't think like the algorithm catches what the fuck I'm saying.
Okay, well, let's continue on. Coincidentally, of course, it's a coincidence. Satanic musician Marilyn Manson, also connected to accusations of sexual violence, shares a tattoo with Echols and Depp, as well as a special tattoo with Depp that Manson says is a bit gay.
He said it, so don't blame us. I'm just quoting him. But you know, if you compare those Depp text messages and, you know, Manson's text messages with Damien's kink fan fiction, you know, you could just, outside of the edgy talk, it's kind of like the same person. Like they're into the same stuff. I bet you they have like some secret enema club that nobody knows about.
But they all have unremarkable buttholes. And
Now,
that's
I don't
all.
know about that. I ain't got any evidence about anyone's rectal exam except Michael Wayne Hutchison.
Alrighty then, moving on.
Damien stated that a young, innocent victim being sacrificed would give more power to a person. Wonder where he got that idea.
I don't know. But you know that baby that he was going to sacrifice, his own baby that he wanted to spend so much time with? Can we bring that up for a second?
Yeah.
Seth, the baby that he never saw when he got out.
Yeah.
He hardly ever saw, if he ever saw him at all.
Last I looked, man, they had like no like relationship. Dude was, you know, I'm sure he's had a horrible fucking life, and that probably didn't help with his criminal record. But yeah, and hell, and his daddy had given some goofy ass name, you know, boy named Sue shit. You know, not only is your daddy a trailer park Satanist, you know, you sound like one with that name. Very, very nasty. You know, it's kind of interesting that his first name was the third child of Adam after, you know, his other one got sacrificed.
Really, you know?
Yeah, I mean, anybody ever notice that? Cain sacrificed Abel.
I didn't notice that.
Then Adam gets replaced and plays another kid named Seth.
No. Oh, moving on.
Yeah.
Wizard Boy Echols was afraid his baby stole his soul. A baby stole his soul.
How are y'all gonna read books and take occult advice from a trailer park wizard that says a baby stole his motherfucking soul? Are you shitting me? All of these damn new occultists out there up there trying to be like, Damon, let me suck your neck so I can join the club. And he's out here scared of fucking babies when he's not trying to sacrifice them or keep them for extra, you know, welfare benefits.
Or hanging out in a empty mobile home closet, getting it on with his girlfriend.
Yeah, but no, don't forget breaking in, burglaring into one. Yeah, with a little girl. Everybody forgets, like, man, he's like messing around with that like 12-year-old.
When she was pregnant, not the 12-year-old. What was her name?
The other one, Dominique.
Was pregnant with his kid. He was messing around with the 12-year-old.
Man. I wonder if that's why Hollywood found his case so fast. You know, maybe they've been in the pictures together, allegedly. Who knows? Okay. Next. Whose turn is it? I forgot.
It's your turn.
Damien says people are unconscious angels. Ain't that just the most profound fucking statement of the week?
I didn't drink that much.
You know, that just changed my whole fucking life right there. I got a whole new outlook.
Shit.
Maybe I need to let him suck my neck or something. I can really get some deep wisdom. Look at that book. He just got that little Acadian wall relief and shit. Doesn't that look magical? Fuck no. That's an awful cover design.
I wouldn't. I didn't
Angels.
buy it.
I ain't buying shit from him. I know he's like relating
Magicians
them to
buy.
like the Anunnaki and Anki and all this shit.
How do
Like,
you get nominated to be a magician? How do you get to call yourself a magician?
I guess you get to fucking cut off penises of little kids and blame it on turtles and
And then blame it on the fathers.
yeah, but and the turtles for the
It was a father turtle conspiracy.
not Donatello. Who would have thought that that's why the hell they was living in the sewer? They was down there. That's where all the missing kids was.
And the pizza.
Yeah, oh shit.
Oh shit!
The pizza.
Now you got my pizza joke. There
Teenage
you go.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Turtles in a half shell. Turtle power.
Man. Next slide.
Oh, next slide. I kind of was off there. Damien says he's the new messiah and we should wake up and smell the crud. Insert offensive F word in reference to the gay community, but spell it incorrectly.
Yeah, that's really going to mess up your gematria if you can't spell a word properly. But apparently, like, the new Messiah is into enemas and sucking people. I don't know, man.
Well,
I don't know,
David
man.
David Koresh was a new messiah too, and they blew his ass up.
Out of all the ones so far, it's looking like Rajneesh seems to be the best bet. They seem like they were having a good time.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah, love one another. And long, dope-ass beards. I appreciated Osho's beard.
But you know why? Because they can hide their next meal in it.
Well, hey, man. He had Rolls Royces and shit. Next slide. I love this slide. Oh, man. This one's going to really get me in trouble. Damien appears to have herpes. Is that what that is?
It's a herpuckle.
I think he was sucking on the wrong dude's neck.
Her butthole.
Well, we don't have any records of that yet. Remember, his was unremarkable, which I think means that as far as I could tell, it hadn't, had a lot of mileage, which I don't know. That's questionable. I mean,
next slide.
It might have been the turtles, though.
Damien Echols was once charged with burglary and sexual misconduct.
Yeah, that means he's into offensive sexual practices.
That was the closet escapade, wasn't it?
Yeah, don't forget, this dude's like a creep. He's officially a creep. He's breaking into places with little girls.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, why are y'all looking up to somebody that breaks into trailers to have misconducted fornication with underage children?
With a herpuckle on his face.
Yeah, what the hell kind of wizard mark? Maybe that's like in Harry Potter, he got that scar. That's where like the trailer park Voldemort blasted him and he survived and became the new like Thelemic Arkansan Messiah. I'm turning that into a cartoon. I'm gonna make that into a meme.
You do that.
How much pleasure it brought me seeing that big old fucking blister for the first time when he got off. They're gonna let him go home. He walks in there looking like some fucking 80s fucking action figure from like an action movie with a big old fucking herpes blister on his face from all his gang initiations. Gang initiations. Oh man. Y'all want to read more about that? There's a lot of it on jivepuppy.com.
It's your turn now.
The wizard forgot how to eat with a fork, but somehow performed the Abramelin ritual on death row. Tell me how that works. For
What's an
one,
Aberrellin ritual?
it's a really complex month-long ritual that even Aleister Crowley didn't finish.
Oh,
And that's why he bought that specific house in Scotland, because you got to have windows facing a certain way and all this shit. And he's telling everybody he's over there in death row when he's not being forced to crawl through a little bitty loose cinder block to get molested or something. He's doing the Abermelin ritual where you're not supposed to be getting molested.
well, you know.
Woo! But
Woo!
I forgot how to eat with a fucking fork. Maybe he switched to chopsticks when they shaved his head and made him a monk for a little bit.
But the prison forced him to eat with his hands. You know, mean old prison.
Bullshit. They had spokes or something. Either way, how do you forget how to use a fork? You just stab things, you know? That's kind of what he's into.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Yeah, so what's up?
Okay, here we go. Damien Echols makes false rape accusations. Claimed Mark Gardner raped him in prison. He later retracted the whole thing after investigation proved he hadn't. The prison at the time said he retracted the claims after he was told a report would be published that called him a manipulative, pathological liar. He was concerned about the effect this would have on his supporters.
Well, why did not the Me Too movement bring this back?
And it should have reported it anyways. The prison should have reported it anyways. Did they need his permission?
I don't know how that works.
No.
And no prison wants high numbers of sexual assault claims either. But they probably man, I'm so tired of this trailer park wizard. You know, he's over here walking through walls and shit, sucking on dudes' necks.
And having poop rituals.
When he's not doing the Abermelin ritual while forgetting how to use a fork.
You know.
But hey, what do I know?
You know?
Damien recommends the Angel Tarot for use in magic. Isn't that just the worst fucking, ad ever? I would be so mad if he recommended one of my books.
That would make me question you.
Man, he said this is an amazing deck. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you're going to get a deck to use for magic, this is the one to get. Oh.
And imagine he sells it on his website.
I don't know, man. Somebody had to buy that overly expensive piece of teakwood looking furniture behind him for, his wizard setup. Did you see his chemistry set when he was pretending to be an alchemist? Somebody should have called the DTF. Looked like he was making chicken coop nets or something. What the fuck, man?
Damien quotes the Bible while dressed as a shitty ninja.
Yeah, he really did.
Go ahead.
No, I said, yeah, he really did. Go ahead, read the psalm. You'll sound better doing it.
There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he who shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. Psalms 91:10.
He should have used that when he got the trailer park Baltimore blast.
Why is he being attacked by a giant ninja sperm?
That's the old Street Fighter game.
Okay.
I thought he might get it if he ever sees this, but yeah, Hadouken. Speaking of Duke.
Hadouken?
Damien likes to impale frogs with sticks to see how long it takes them to die. According to his Wiccan neighbor, Chris Luttrell. See, y'all can't blame this on Baptists. The Wiccans said he was out there impaling frogs.
Well,
now, he wasn't out there frog jigging, which is hunting frogs for food. They use a frog jig and do it spy. No, he just wants to see how long it took them to die.
Does it matter how long it takes for it to die? Is there like
Well, maybe it does if you're doing that Crowley ritual where you crucify the frog.
I know nothing about that.
Crowley took a frog and said it was Jesus and crucified it and made frog legs and ate them. I never really liked frog legs. I've tried them a few times, just never could get into it.
Well, if they taste like chicken, why don't you just eat chicken?
They don't taste like chicken. That's a damn lie.
What do they taste like then?
They fucking taste like fucking slime. They're gross. They stink like fish bait. Fuck that. I'd rather just have the frogs. Look at that poor sack. Look at that frog, man. And here's old ninja dude about to kill it with a stick, and everybody's still sucking his neck.
Well, he sucks blood and does things with poop, so he probably doesn't mind the slime of a frog.
I don't know, man. I just can't get into eating frogs. I don't judge anybody for doing it, but I do judge them if they're impaling them just to watch them die. Why ain't old Wiccan dude using his magic to save the frogs, for fuck's sake?
You know
what?
Mm-hmm.
I think I just figured it out. You know what Alex Jones was saying about them frogs? I bet you, he's saying all the frogs was turning gay. I bet you it's Damien's fault. He was doing some ritual and it backfired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Damien goes to karate tournaments in Texas where satanic ritual murders occur and Luciferian church was established.
I wonder how many places he's lived that also have satanic cults and murders. Or just hangs out at it. Does anybody just went around since he's got out of jail and seen if there's any missing boys with, parts that are being blamed on turtles or anything?
I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe we should look into that.
Maybe we should, man. Yeah, that little First Church of Lucifer down there in Spring, Texas. I think it's closed now. But yeah, and coincidentally, this really tickled me pink. You would be amazed how many people around the cannibals up there in Windyville also previously lived in and around Spring, Texas.
Whoa.
Yeah, it wasn't just one either. And what was really cool is, hell, one of the neighbors actually lived in Yonkers for a year. Of all places.
It's a small world.
It is, man. Damien had a necklace in his possession that had the blood of the victims on it. They talk about, we got Terry's hair. No, they don't. They just had some hair that could have been a whole ass ton of people. It was nowhere near to be said that was Terry's. And how many of y'all's kids got one of your hairs on? You know how much trouble I got in as a teenager? Girlfriend thinking I'm cheating on her because one of my mom's blonde hairs was on my shirt.
And it came in too late. Well, you gotta love our legal system.
Yeah. Y'all can find that shit on the Callahan site. Look at him brushing his hair. Oh, what a pretty boy. Yeah, ain't he a fancy lad? See his pearls? He wore a pearl necklace.
And because, there's nothing else to worry about besides how you look in a murder trial when you are accused of killing small boys.
Well, if you're going to blow kisses at the victim's parents, you want to make sure your hair's parted right.
Allegedly, yes, allegedly.
No, he really blew kisses at him. I don't have to say alleged on any of the things on the screen.
Oh, now it's my turn, I see. Damien quotes the biography Humpty Dumpty under moments of emotional turmoil, giving no credit to Mr. Humpty Dumpty himself.
You'll find that in a lot of his works, actually.
There was no safe place in all the world for me. My stomach was filled with poop with ice water. Hearing Damien was the final straw. Something in me broke my water. I was given birth. All the king's horses and all the king's men wanted to see my unremarkable anus would never be able to put me back together again. Quoted from Damien Echols' Life After Death.
Oh shit, I've smoked too much weed for this. I'm fucking quote Humpty Dumpty. Oh hell, like I escaped death row. I'm unjustly persecuted. What figure can I look up to that could somehow be symbolic of my own struggle? Fucking Humpty Dumpty. Fuck ass. Speaking of eggs, Damien thinks Easter egg hunts originate from pagan sex parties. Historians disagree.
Leave those rabbits alone.
I know, even the rabbits think he's a freak. Like, you think, this excellent magician with, these best-selling occult books and all this made-up bullshit could at least, after all these decades, realize that them books he read as a teenager were not historically accurate. But then again, same dude blaming turtles for his perversions.
Well, I got nothing on that. Let's move right on. In March of 1993, Damien enjoyed standing outside of windows like a creeper and telling people that they were going to die, according to an incident filed by Jennifer Ball.
Yeah.
You're going to die. I'm a turtle lover.
Yeah, that's not somebody that would, kill some little boys or be a part of a cult or a gang where you suck each other and kill boys and blame it on turtles.
But I still remember when he denied those girls that said he, at that ball game or whatever, or Damien said he had like other kids he was going to kill before he got caught for something.
Yeah, in the damn skating rink. Well, I wasn't even there. And then there's a picture of him there wearing that necklace.
Then later on he said, well, I may have said that. Okay.
But I was just kidding. There wasn't. I was sensitive. I'm just a Buddhist cartoon eating with my fingers in jail.
I often find myself dressed as Humpty Dumpty in people's bushes, screaming, "You're gonna die," just because.
Yeah, I was just frustrated. I lost another fight over the cornflakes again. Got my ass kicked.
By them cockroaches.
So I'll just take it out on a stray dog around here. Next slide.
Your turn.
Oh, Damien wore necklaces of dog intestines. So, Jennifer Harrison said she thought Damien had done it because he knew way too much and he went around Horseshoe the same day the murders had happened and had dog intestines around his neck. Who the fuck is going to wear dog intestines around their damn neck?
I have another question. How did one distinguish dog intestines from any other kind of intestines? You walk up and say, "Hey, Damien, those dog intestines?" He's like, "Yeah, man, it matches my outfit." How do you tell the difference?
That could have been chitlins then too. But yeah, I don't think they said the turtles took anybody's intestines, but then again, they reported on missing intestines, and I don't know. But maybe it had to do with like that same dog he beat to death, or maybe it was another one, or maybe he just went around like a fucking buzzard picking at roadkill. No judgment there on that, but I may or may not allegedly, occasionally pilfer bones and things from roadkill, but I'll tell you one damn thing, I don't fucking put intestines around my fucking neck. When you were young, you ever see like, look at that bad boy wearing them dog intestines. I sure want to break in a trailer and get naked with him in a closet.
And have his baby.
Yeah. Is that like something that was like hip in your day?
And I'm just kind of wondering, is he smoking a Virginia Slim? I'm just saying.
I don't know, but he holds his cigarettes like Jeffrey Dahmer.
And he does things like he probably got the intestines from roadkill like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, he sits to pee.
Do what?
I said, you know he sits to pee. Had to in jail here.
Wow.
Yeah, that make you sit to pee. He looked like he was probably already doing it, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Next
Oh,
slide.
Damien Echols said sex offender Andy Dick made his day. There is definitely nothing suspicious at all. I'm telling you, at all. The friends connected to sex crimes at all.
At all, man. And if y'all don't know about this, Andy Dick, that dude roofied a dude, and he made his rectal exam very remarkable.
Yeah.
Amongst other horrible things. But hey, man, what do I know? That's the same. Judging by the little shit stain on his chin there, that's about around the same time he was hugging up on Amanda Knox.
Ooh.
You know, I mean, I heard allegedly through the grapevine that they said that the aroma coming off that girl's undercarriage had knocked the buzzard off a shit wagon. That's why they called her Amanda Knox. You know, it'd knock you the fuck out. And that's also why there wasn't no flies at the crime scene, allegedly. Next slide. Crime blog, realcrime.net referred to Damien as Mr. Douche Goggles.
Well,
Look at them douche goggles. I was real proud of that. Yeah, it's still a fact. He was called Mr. Douche Goggles, but I had to put this in there just to make him angry.
but you know, being in prison all that time made the light hurt his eyes. That's why he's got to wear them douche goggles.
Yeah, he's blind because it's so dark in there. My ass is bright as fuck. I've been to Tucker Max. I know what it looks like in there. I ain't gonna tell anybody why neither. It wasn't me, but I have been there. I had an uncle there. He actually set up the first leather shop and made Bill Clinton's saddle. No shit. So I know a little bit about Tucker.
Damn.
First time I got an eyeball scan.
Scanning eyeballs?
Yeah, you gotta scan your eyeball to get in and out.
Wow.
Yeah, they couldn't scan mine very well. We always had problems. Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine. Damien beats 6 dogs to death with bricks. Hand me that brick. This dog's about to get stoned.
Yeah, and I used that dog, but apparently, like, at least one of them was a black Great Dane, allegedly.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck gonna beat a dog to death with a brick? And then, like, later, he tried to say once, well, you know, I was trying to put it out of its misery. Well, you gonna use a brick to do it? And it's a fucking Great Dane. It's not like a teacup chihuahua you can just ring like a chicken.
No, it's not.
Like, how many times is that where the intestines come from? Did that help the Great Dane?
But the dog was sick, so he didn't pick on, anything that could,
Why did he use his white light goddess powers that he talked about? Because they was all into healing in the earth to fix the damn dog instead of beating it with the fucking brick. Maybe he thought like he got his shit crossed because in New Orleans, they used to use that brick dust on doorsteps to keep off witchcraft, but it was the dust, you didn't hit somebody upside the head with a fucking brick. Fucking gross. Alright. Damien appears in this photo with UN Secretary Ban Ki-moon, who coincidentally also denied being involved in a cult while being involved with a cult, the Shincheonji cult. I really want to know how this little boy from the trailer park who's been getting his ass whooped by cockroaches over breakfast cereal ends up getting saved by Hollywood and hanging out with cult members in the UN, and no one's questioning this. There are so many people that spent so many more years in fucking prison for shit that they actually didn't do that aren't getting to hang out with cult leaders at the UN.
Maybe they don't want to.
Or maybe it's because they didn't suck somebody's neck to get in the club.
It could be that too.
Well, just so y'all know, I mean, apparently there's a lot of fucking cults in the UN outside of their official one, the Lucifer Trust. Next.
Moving.
You know, this,
Damien.
before we start, I just gotta say, we've done this so great because you're having to read like all the real triggering ones. So I don't think it's bad.
I kind of noticed that.
And I couldn't have planned it because I forgot half these slides. I made this shit months ago.
And Peggy's, been out of commission for a while, but I'm back now. Now let's go on. Damien likes to have assholes and rice for dinner, which apparently requires a cat.
Yeah, assholes and rice and enemas. Y'all seeing a pattern here? This dude eats ass and rice for dinner.
But he says, doesn't he say he's all out of rice?
Well, I guess he's gonna eat the cat and fucking wear its intestines as a G-string or something.
Well,
what's he supposed to be in that picture? A beat poet?
A what? Beat poet, I think so.
Beat poet or something?
I think it's to cover up his receding hairline.
I don't think you're allowed to wear hats like that unless you got dreads in them. But hey, I don't know. I don't eat assholes and rice.
Or beat sick dogs with bricks.
Yeah. After that chili I ate, I know my rectal exam will be remarkable as hell, too. So we don't have a lot in common outside of both being from Arkansas. We're not even from the same part of the state, either.
And I'm glad I'm a Yankee. Just saying.
All right. Damien says he definitely didn't ritually sacrifice 3 boys and dump them in water, but does believe in ghosts among trees and below the surface of water, especially on summer days, and sometimes in his blood. Aunt Peggy, will you read that quote from Life After Death? Can you see it?
I can see it.
Cool.
Ghosts can haunt damn near anything. I have heard them in the breathy voice of a song and seen them between the covers of a book. They have hidden in trees so that their faces peer out of the bark and hovered beneath the silver surface of the water. They disguise themselves as turtles, cracks in concrete, or come calling in a delirium of fever. On summer days, they keep pace like the shadow of our shadow. Wow, that's like bad writing. Not a good sentence. Trying to be artistic there, Damien, you're failing. They lurk in the breath of young girls who give us our first kiss. Okay, like the kind you suck, like the Dalai Lama.
Why are there, like, hold up. Alright. So there's dead people on the breath of little girls? Is that what I just heard, basically?
But he sucks tongues like the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, but does that mean that them girls are sucking on dead kids before they kiss him?
Or is it the fact that he's sucking on them because they're dead?
Well, he says he's smelling it on their breath, so unless they're all like sucking on each other in a pile and getting a lot of backwash going, that would imply that they got it on their breath from some cannibalism or something, maybe? I don't know.
I've seen men who were haunted to the point of madness by things. Really, Damien? Look in the mirror. That never were. Yeah, look twice. And things that should have been, well, no. I've seen ghosts in the lines on a woman's face and heard them in the jangling of keys. Okay, then. Did he say something about Kool-Aid, drinking Kool-Aid that made him think he was like the ruler of the world or something?
Yeah, he was eating them Kool-Aid packets because he was like transforming and his body needed the energy or something, because I guess it was kind of like that roach alien on Men in Black that was always drinking the sugar water.
Yeah, and then you step away from the Kool-Aid, please. The ghost in the fire freeze and the ghost in the ice burn. Some died long ago and some were never born. Some ride in the blood in my veins until it reaches my brain. I think that's nice. The blood reaches, but the oxygen doesn't, because really, dude, you're like not having a lot of oxygen in there. I'm just saying. Sometimes I even mistake myself for one. A ghost? What, until it reaches my brain. What is he talking about?
Maybe he's saying, I mean, he was really into that Buddhism stuff, and in Thailand they got this thing called a jackfruit ghost, and I'm just going to let all our viewers research that for themselves. They'll love it. And before I forget, everybody in the chat, if you are going to have any questions, think about them, because when we get done with this shit, I'm going to open up the phone lines and we're all going to roast Damien Echols for Christmas.
Excellent. And sometimes I even mistake myself for one. Sometimes I am one.
Man, that is so profound. I felt that down in my gonads. I think he must have made me wet or something. Wow, what a poet.
He made my intestines loosen.
Yeah, isn't that just the face of somebody you want to just wrap your intestines around? That'll make your exam remarkable. Next slide. Now it's your turn.
No, I read that one.
Oh,
You did. Oh, no, I did the ghost thing. I guess you're right. Damien went on a date to Disneyland with Johnny Depp, friend of Allen Ginsberg of NAMBLA and Hunter S. Thompson from the Franklin scandal. I received my first tattoo as a teenager. My skin is a record of my life. A stupidity. Recently, right before coming to Austin, I went to Disneyland with Damien. Oh my God, I bet you're just so thrilled. Did you win the Super Bowl asswipe of West Memphis? He had just gotten out of jail. He wanted to see Disneyland, so I took him. Well, isn't that generous, you millionaire? You took him to Disneyland. Are you proud of yourself? Was Amber there? I don't think so. She was screwing around with Elon Musk in an elevator. Afterwards, we went together and got tattoos. Aw, that's sweet. That's a way of documenting things in my life.
Yeah, all right.
I got nothing.
I got something. I got questions.
You go right ahead.
So this is all, he's reliving the things he missed as a kid. He was a damn teenager, like, gothy kid. What teenage gothy kid you ever known just be like, when I'm at home, touching myself in the mirror, naked, dreaming my dreams, I just think about going to Disneyland with Johnny Depp.
And they hold hands and skip.
And they just wear intestines together and suck each other's necks and shit.
And show their unremarkable buttholes.
Y'all need to really question why the fuck two grown men, which by their own texts and documents are into some pretty questionable reproductive-esque behavior, are going on a date to Disneyland together. And if you don't really know what I'm talking about, check out all them Disney workers Chris Hansen kept catching. Oh, and Judge or Sheriff Grady, boy, he's getting one all the time. Look at that little Disney hat. Look, he's finally in the Mickey Mouse Club.
He is.
Oh, shit. Damien's favorite food is pizza, an interest he shares, along with the Lima and climate change, with John Podesta.
Oh, that's sweet, too.
This is where it is. 5 seconds. We're about to get Fez busting in.
Did they get matching tattoos?
I don't know, man. But you know that them WikiLeaks emails talking about a Thelema favor, and I don't know how the fuck they explain that. Maybe that's how he got hung up at the UN with that cult member, man. They just got a lot in common. Pizza, climate change, Thelema, weird shit like that, poems and art of dead children. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just paranoid.
I don't know.
Maybe I smoked too much weed.
Never.
Hi, your turn.
Why me?
Hey, at least I took the Podesta shot.
Damien Echols has a shared sexual interest in bodily waste with R. Kelly, who is also trapped in a closet, just like Damien. I can't read that. Can you?
Well, the most important part is... I'll just read the whole thing, because I can't see it. While we were in Oregon, Michael, Damien, got really sad. Like the time when we were driving up there. One day, he locked himself up in a closet and had taken something in there with him. His grandmom told me that Michael had a knife. I thought that this was really serious, and Pam and I made him go to the hospital in Oregon. Michael got really upset with me, and I lost my temper, and after I yelled at him, he got even more upset. I feel bad about this whole incident because what started it was when Michael's grandmom told me that he had a knife. I don't know why I immediately trusted her instead of checking it out. But what I found out later was that Michael may have just had a spoon with him. What? Who the fuck locks themselves in the closet with a damn spoon?
Unless he was doing heroin.
Wash tub junk, man. A fucking chicken. Well, you got chicken coop meth. I guess you get hen house heroin. What the fuck? Nobody questions about the spoon. Damien has his name as graffiti in West Memphis next to a very unique smiley face. Ain't that something? If you notice, it's got that same little kind of like, little there. And coincidentally, that's the same kind of hair he had when he was blowing kisses at those poor children's families. I mean, maybe I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Next.
Damien's arrest record case file was 930506666.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
It is, but they said they didn't do that on purpose.
Of all the numbers in the world, Huh. The fuck around gang.
But you know what? Jason had a good mullet going on back then.
Fucking mullet. Fucking achy breaky trailer park art. Whose turn is it?
It's yours.
Oh, Damien lied to Pierce Morgan about his criminal record. He stated he'd never broken the law before. No sexual misconduct or trailer park burglary. And that's just the shit he got caught for. He didn't even get charged for beating that dog to death. And, you can watch this clip on the Internet Archive if you really want to hear it, where he's got his, widow's peak Michael Aquino hair and keeps sniffing his finger all the time.
I don't want to know why.
Well, that's that sign of silence, but I'm just going to start referring it as to the index sniff or something. The thelemic sniff. The thelemic Joe Biden.
Oh,
next.
Right. The first quote on the About section of Damien's website is from a pederast and sex abuser, Oscar Wilde.
True stuff. Did you ever read any of those statements?
No.
He basically just goes up to this young teenage boy and just starts molesting him. He don't even know what's going on. Because, back then you got caught spanking it, you went to the asylum. So, didn't know what was going on. Yeah, Oscar Wilde was molesting young boys. He wasn't some, fucking, gay rights liberation guy. He was a fucking pederast. And I think that's interesting. Of all the people in the fucking world, not Aleister Crowley, not, tongue-sucking llamas, not even the dude that invented the disposable enema, Oscar Wilde.
I have a question. Does that mean you want to keep an enema?
Well, I mean, back in the day, they had that one big rubber one. You didn't just buy them. You just had that hose and that big rubber thing.
Yeah, and I think it was also used for douches.
Yeah, that too, but they use that for everything. They even use that for a hot water bag if you had a fever. Same thing that was hosing off Grandma's ass.
Moving on.
That's why there's so much typhoid and shit. Damien's hero, Aleister Crowley, wrote approvingly of blood sacrifice, especially that of a young boy. He also wrote poetry about the torture of children and sexual rituals, and that was in his magical diaries. So it leads us to believe that is an actual ritual that took place. The Thelemites try to say it was just bad poetry, but I mean, you got to put a lot of effort to write bad poetry about, sick ass shit like that.
Well,
I mean, but I know the guy. There's nothing. I don't really know him that well. I'm just writing his name and thieving scripts and shit. This guy just also happens to hang out with rich people and talk about killing boys and, cutting penises too.
well,
He didn't blame it on a turtle though.
and finally, wrapping up our wonderful tribute to the 50 fun facts about Damien Echols is Damien is the most famous trailer park wizard in Arkansas history.
That's true. He finally made it to the top of something. He is the most famous trailer park wizard in Arkansas history.
And thank you, Damien, for having such a wonderfully interesting life that 50 fun-filled facts to be said on you at such a young age.
Ain't that some more shit?
It is.
Let me pull
no, don't bring in the shit. He might like it.
Let me pull the screen up and check and see what I missed in the chat, because I'm sure there's some. Hi, Daninsky. Merry Christmas. Yeah, Scott, the 3 parts of the serial killer triangle. Yeah. Coincidentally, the guy that wrote that got paid to say he definitely didn't do it. But you can't trust them Mindhunter people. They were less than honest. Let's see. Yeah, Belphegor confirmed. For those of you that didn't catch it, we have a little clip about Damien and the Poop Demons episode. You should definitely check it out. Hey, Papa Doc. And Xander's here. Yeah, man, dog intestines. I mean, I don't know how she could tell. Like, Aunt Peggy had a good point. Like, it could have been chitlins from the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it could have been the intestines of somebody else that got their unremarkable exam really remarkable in a real quick way. It could have been a bondage enema accident.
I really wish someone would call in to speak to us at 479-310-0888. Please call us. Yeah. We would love to have your call.
Yeah, if anybody wants to call in, ask questions about trailer park wizards and stuff, we got our phone lines open today. This is our Christmas episode, so we're just hanging out and getting unreasonably stoned and talking about trailer park wizards.
Yeah. Is there another trailer park wizard somewhere, or is he the only one?
Well, I seem to remember a story a long time ago about, and I don't know if this was in a park, but it was North or South Carolina. These cops was raiding a drug operation, and this lady had a bunch of root work stuff everywhere. But I can't say she was in a trailer park though. But she was in a trailer, so I mean, she might be a trailer park magician. Or just a trailer witch. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've known any trailer witches in my day. I've seen some on TV.
I don't think I've known any, but I've led a very sheltered life, as you can tell.
Well, never dated a guy from a trailer park with fucking dog intestine necklaces. What happened to those? Did he just wear them for a little while? Didn't it stink? Or
and did it attract flies?
Not care because he liked enemas.
Because it was hot outside and it would attract flies. Could you track him by all
no
the
fly
flies
gonna light on somebody like that. Hell, he'd make the flies throw up. Nasty. I'm a fucking my adoring slave and enemas and shit. What the fuck is wrong with that? That is just the most terrible shit I've ever heard.
And then you sit there and you cry that you have been falsely accused because, there's no evidence and you're wearing black and blah, wah, wah. And then all of a sudden, you're turning it on all the fathers like John Mark Byers. Yeah, the dude was a crazy, crazy person and he was putting on camera for money. He was doing all
he's
this.
a damn drug addict,
And he had a brain tumor. He's dead now. He had brain cancer. And he was dead. He's dead now. Then they turned it on Terry Hobbs. As Dr. Corbeaux, as you have said, there wasn't any evidence really tying Terry to that.
No, he's actually a pretty nice guy if you ever talk to him.
He is. I wouldn't be talking to any child killer, being a mama of sorts. I wouldn't be doing that, but I've talked to Terry too, and he's a nice guy, and I know nice guys kill people and yada, 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 but, no, it's not.
In fairness, let's just say, I could understand how if there's a ritual crime, people are going to be suspicious of people into the occult. I get that. But I'm not fucking wearing dog intestines and tying people up and giving them enemas and breaking into trailers with little girls and beating fucking dogs to death and talk about being Satan's artillery captain and writing poems about the ghosts of dead kids and shit in the water. I mean, that's getting to be a lot, don't you think?
Yep.
I mean, Johnny Depp never come to save me from anything.
And sadly enough, Eddie Vedder too from Pearl Jam. I love Pearl Jam, but Eddie, man, no more.
You remember then the Dixie Chicks was all up his ass, and then they got in trouble during the 9/11 stuff for being un-American. And then when they came back, like their first song had something to do with Satan or something. Like, yeah, that's nothing to see here,
That worked out really well for him. Mm-hmm.
We're freebasing marijuana today, folks.
Why doesn't anybody want to talk to us? We're nice people.
I don't know. Maybe nobody knows what to say. We're just so fucking uncouth. We're not calling in on this shit. We don't want to get in trouble. I'm surprised YouTube ain't cut my fucking stream, honestly. Well, I'm probably going to get flagged for some of this.
Yeah. But you know what? You saw it live. You may not see it again, but you've seen it live.
Hey, man, I didn't tell no lies. Like, all the facts, there's the evidence. Show me one other trailer park wizard more famous in Arkansas history. I would love to, show up at a Q&A, but Damien only will do interviews with pre-approved questions and just bring out, so, man, what's up with the enemas?
479-310-0888.
Yeah, if you got an opinion about the limbic enema bondage, give us a call.
And if you want to, change your mind on Damien Echols, we're always open.
Yeah, you can tell me about him. I'm from Arkansas. Shit, I had one of his teachers in school that taught him when he was in prison. Eating with his fingers and blind or something.
How was he reading all the books that he had in there if he was blind? They weren't in Braille.
He was using the same magic technique that made his broken, busted ass teeth regrow themselves magically. That Reiki therapeutic touch or something. Remember that interview? I've never heard somebody say the word therapeutic make it sound so creepy. He said therapeutic touch. It made like some kind of tentacle monster's been against you.
But allegedly, now, can you do my allegedly? Because this is alleged now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, here.
Allegedly. Supposedly, a couple years back now, there was this tattoo girl that was giving Damien tattoos, and it looked like they were going to have a threesome with Lori Davis, his wife, that tattoo lady. Did you see that?
For a while. They had that throuple thing going on.
And she went away, and we haven't seen Lori Davis out and about as much as usual.
She's a landscape architect, they say.
Oh, she's a gardener?
No, she's a landscape architect. I don't know what that is. And I really wish I could have found this because, you know, her official story is she saw this documentary and she just had to do something. But she was writing another fucking killer in, I think, Texas or something, fawning over them at the same time. But that's been scrubbed.
Yeah, it's kind of like James Whitehouse that married Susan Atkins from the Manson family. He was writing that woman who tried to fake the, God, Ken Bianchi, Hillside Strangler crimes to get Bianchi out of prison. He was writing her. I think it was Virginia Compton was her name. And then he dumped her for Susan Atkins.
Yeah, if anybody remembers what prisoner Damien's old lady literally wrote, send me an email because it definitely was scrubbed. It took me a minute to find the bondage enema letter. You can't even post that shit on Facebook. That's like fake news or something. I don't know.
How's it fake news? He wrote it.
I don't know, or it goes against standards or something. I'm like, I thought y'all was into bondage enemas.
But you know, he has a Facebook page, right?
Hell, yeah, so do all those pedo groups, but you can't expose one or that's against something.
And he could put all that fake magic crap up that he does, and that's not, you know, fake news or, you know, misinformation. I was
seeing people talking about him and that lady's book, Ritual. They're all sitting there doing, like, make-believe shit. Like, literally just, like, visualize this. Visualize your enemy being tied up with dog intestines and the 32nd spirit of the Lesser Key of Solomon administering a hot sauce enema. You know, whatever, it's somehow going to work. Most infantile occultism I've ever seen in my fucking life.
There you go.
You should have stuck with the dog intestines. You was closer. Just fuck. Well, ain't nobody want to talk about Damien. We don't even got to be here. We can get the fuck on.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. I don't blame y'all. I'm surprised. I'm probably going to get a lot of bullshit because he's got all that fucking social media army that'll come defend him. But remember, for all you poor people that have been pulled in by Hollywood's fucking propaganda, just remember this.
A victim of that media that's controlled by satanic forces.
Yeah. Aunt Peggy didn't see that, but we played a clip. So, if it's your first time, don't forget to like and subscribe. Where else? Where's the other? I think there's something else I gotta throw up. Oh, here we go. And until such time, may consciousness and prosperity prevail. And send all contact requests, video requests, bitches, gripes, complaints, letters of support or opposition, ditty pics and tasteful nudes to drcorbeaux@gmail.com. That's all, folks. Say goodnight, Aunt Peggy.
Good night, Aunt Peggy.
What's up, bitch? Thanks for giving money. Hey, give me money.
Follow me. Did you have any choice? You'll all follow me.